Welcome to episode 40 of The Blade Job.
It's our Doherty 40. That it's like Dirty 30.
But it's not.
But you say it wrong.
It's not.
It's cute that
Lordy,
way.
lordy.
We talked about Hell in a Cell over a span of over an hour because we would talk about one match and then a bunch of random nonsense. And then talk about another match and then a bunch of random nonsense.
Listen, it's episode 40. They understand how it works.
Yes.
You
It's
understand
what you're
how
listening
it works. So sit back, enjoy a cold, crisp Colt 45, and enjoy
Steel Reserve.
episode 40. Steel Reserve's good too. Not really.
Old
though.
English.
Old English.
Old English.
OLDE.
Yeah, that should be the name of the episode. Old English.
That's a Alkaline Trio song.
I like them. We'll go with that. Okay. Let's do it. Episode 40.
Enjoy.
You know how to spell Old English, right?
OLDEENGLIS.
Bass. How low can you go? Death row.
What a brother know. Can that be the beginning of this episode?
Sure. I hit start. It doesn't
Just
matter.
you talking,
Just
talking
me.
Anthrax lyrics.
Technically that would be public enemy.
Yeah, I know.
The timer's going, so this is on the books. I don't fucking know.
Just makes me think of Tony Hawk.
I would fucking ruin any of you with Tony Hawk. Like,
Is Skate 3 backwards compatible on Xbox One? I don't know though.
I don't know. I
Let's find out.
have it on PS3. We have a PS3 in our bedroom.
You
The
would.
PS4 is out in the living room.
Yeah. Welcome to the Blade Job.
Welcome.
That's a thing. Follow us on Twitter at The Blade Job Show. Follow me, JRT. It's me. It's JRT. Scott liked that last week, so
Well, it wasn't a robot voice. It was pretty good.
fuck off. At Blade Job JRT. Follow Scott at his new handle to see if he remembers it. He's got to look it up.
At Blade Job Perkins.
It's
Didn't even
so
look it up.
easy, too.
I know. But I was high voltage 1987 for a
Yeah.
while. But I'm Blade Job Perkins now.
And follow Jolin at John_Olin because he's mad about Joseph Nolan or some shit.
I like
that.
that he's like my arch rival, and I've never met the guy.
Well, we can find out where he lives and burn his house down. That's okay.
He's been making
That's
enough money
not
off
gonna
Facebook
happen.
ads, according to Twitter.
If Mr. Nolan's house burns down, it was not Scott Perkins.
Yeah, I don't know who he is or where he lives. Or,
I don't either. He
and
hasn't been on Twitter since 2012.
I also don't care to like
Do anything.
find out where he.
Yeah.
I'm all ideas, very little action.
It's true. It's true. You
That's
got
just-
2 kids, so there's a little bit of action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on Discord.
No. That's
Never mind,
That's
that's
not for
private.
them yet.
It's private.
Facebook.com/TheBladeJob, Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, a bunch of other places.
Yeah. Google
Go.
Play and iTunes. I mean,
Those are the important ones. I mean,
that's-
you either have an Android phone or an iPhone, and because if you have a Windows phone, what the fuck's wrong with you?
They still make those?
Yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
My ex-wife had one for the longest time.
That's dumb. She's dumb.
She likes God and Windows phones. God damn.
I'm so glad she doesn't listen to this.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know. I haven't watched wrestling since Hell in a Cell. I've just been tired and my shoulder hurts and I'm angry, so I haven't watched anything. But Hell in a Cell was actually
It was pretty good.
pretty good. Yeah, it's funny because we've had 3 big 4 pay-per-views this year already. We've already had the Rumble, we've already had WrestleMania, and we've already had SummerSlam.
That's right. The Rumble's in January. I was
And
thinking about
honestly, Hell in a Cell might be their best event of the year, and it's fucking September. Like,
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
That's probably accurate.
I don't know. I felt it was booked well. I'll just we're not gonna go through the whole thing because whatever. But I felt like this was actual proper booking for Brock Lesnar. Like, I don't know. It just like they actually used him in a way that made sense instead of just like, I'm Bork Lobster, I have title belt, Paul Heyman.
I like that we had the foresight to talk about him literally the day before.
I like that Paul Heyman maced the fuck out of Mick Foley. And I was like, no, you're friends.
The best part of all of that was Heyman coming out and just going, give me the goddamn key! Give me the goddamn key!
I love Heyman. He is a treasure.
He is.
He really is. Like, he's just
when you
spectacular.
When you talk about managers, like on-air personality who aren't wrestlers, like, so whether it be commentators or managers or backstage or ring announcers, people who have an actual character, not just like, Paul Heyman is the greatest of all time.
I
hands
love
down.
him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one who's ever, like, Jimmy Hart and like Heenan might be close. Heenan's definitely closer.
Yeah.
But Paul Heyman, he's kind of like, and this isn't going where you think it's going. He's kind of like Jericho in the sense that he's reinvented himself many times. Like, you know, whether he's Paul Heyman or
Paulie
Dangerously or Lou E. Dangerous, like, you know, he's had this. He's just completely, like, he evolves upon the same character, while still remaining, like, the newest one obviously being the ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and it's so over. And it's just entertaining. I mean, the guy's got one of the best speaking voices in the business.
He really does.
Yeah. Like when
and
he was on...
It's like the cadence of his voice.
Yeah, when he was commentary with JR back in the day, like, that was, to me, that was probably my favorite commentary team of all time. I don't know, just because JR had that, like, standard, like, King style, like, person sitting next to him where he's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, you know, but Paul Heyman was so aggressive about it.
Yeah.
Whereas King was just a pervert. He was just a dirty old man.
That was the era we lived in at the time.
Yes, we did.
Speaking of which, we watched Armageddon 99.
Armageddon it on.
last Saturday, after we recorded last Saturday, we watched Armageddon 99, which was the one where Miss Kitty showed her puppies at the end of the WWF Women's Championship evening gown in a pool match, which was terrible. Like, I feel so bad because you're looking at like you had a woman in it, I don't even remember her name because I don't remember her being there. But then you had like Ivory and you had Jacqueline, who were two really good wrestlers. And it's like, this is the shit they had to deal with.
Aren't they both Hall of Famers now?
They are Hall of Famers.
And China.
Ivory was in the original Glow.
Yeah?
Yeah. She was one of the original
Glow girls.
Gorgeous ladies of wrestling in the late 80s. That's how she got into, but she was like she was one of the only ones like on the book that like had like a legit interest in pro wrestling. I don't know if she had trained before that, but because she worked the I don't know if it was the territories or just the indies back then, before going to WWF. I loved Ivory.
Wrestling
especially Ivory and Right to Censor was brilliant.
I hated Right to Censor at the time
because you were a 16-year-old pervert and you wanted to see boobs.
I was not 16. I was much younger.
Yeah, like 13.
And I wanted to see boobs. And yeah, I didn't like it, but now it's like I'll go back and watch stuff and you're like, yeah.
Well, you look at the bit too. You've got Stevie Richards. You've got The Good Father.
Yep.
Like it was just brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
I hated Stevie Richards at the time, and now it's like, now you go back. Like I love going back, and I'll do this with music too. Like, like I can't get enough fucking Spice Girls and Backstreet Boys. Who can? I mean, you know, back in the day when that was all going down, fucking gay, Limp Bizkit, But now it's like you listen to Spice Girls and you're like, holy shit, these women are supremely talented.
I remember listening to my CD player on the way to school every morning, and like one morning I'd be listening to like Britney Spears, and the next morning I'd be listening to Korn and Limp Bizkit. Like I didn't give a shit. Like even that's always been my feeling on music. I feel like if music emits like some sort of emotional response, I enjoy it. Except country, because seriously, like no, hold on.
I like old country.
Old country, like Johnny Cash, that folky country, like
go even super old. Give me some Marty Robbins.
Fuck.
Are you thinking of Willie Nelson?
No,
you should.
John Denver. You know, that folky fucking country music.
But John Denver's full of shit.
I don't like John Denver.
He's whatever.
Have you heard the cover of Country Roads from Fallout 76.
Yes, it's pretty good.
Done by that doo-wop band.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, that song's amazing.
And he did do a lot for parental advisory too. He fought against that hard.
Yeah, because
he had no reason to.
He was a legit musician. He cared about freedom of creation,
Right?
Which is awesome. But anyways,
Dead Kennedys versus Tipper Gore.
yeah,
Fucking Tipper Gore.
Dude, they put out an album that was just on one side of a cassette, and then they left the other side blank so you could like record shit off the radio.
That's really cool.
funny. Without the little tab in it that would stop recording.
Thanks, Jello Biafra.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, like, you know, I do the same thing. Like you go back and you see some of these performers who were essentially low carders or mid carders.
Yeah.
And you get the same shit you get now. Every night, like most of the time you get like throwaway matches that really aren't even that good. They're 10 minutes long and they're just like spot, matches over. But then you look at like a lot of guys and girls who never got their due diligence in the company. Like, honestly, Val Venus, terrible character, amazing pro wrestler.
I disagree. I think his character was fucking great at the time.
It was hysterical. It was funny.
It wouldn't work now.
Obviously.
Fucking Kai and Tai chopping off his dick. That was
or
great.
Him fucking everyone in the locker room.
Also great. Like, just for that time, the Attitude Era, he was like that kind of character.
Do you
that
remember
was
when he
Attitude.
had a threesome with Jamie Noble and Tori Wilson?
No.
It was hysterical.
I mean, they were probably just like, fuck it, we did it in real life. Why don't we just...
What is this? Paige, Brad Maddox, and fucking Xavier Woods? Paige here.
Paige here.
She looks so high in that promo.
She just looks hammered.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wrestle.
Did
I
you
guess I'll
did
just
you see
drink
the
all
interview
day.
that Paige did about her injury?
Yeah, it was Sasha Banks.
Yeah. That was like a pretty cool read because, like, I mean, love her or hate her, like most pro wrestlers feel immense regret if they injure someone that badly.
Yeah.
And to be fair, you know, like, I mean, you know, Paige is just trying to set the record straight. She's like, I called for the spot. I called for it, not Sasha.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it's two, sometimes more people in a ring throwing each other around.
Yeah.
People going off ladders, through tables,
and
all this shit. And the fact that it's like, honestly, injuries, like major injuries, are, you know, happily but surprisingly rare.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's a good thing that it's rare, but it's like, you would think that, you know, you can't play an NFL season, you're going to have half your roster fucking have some sort of injury. So these guys do it, and guys and gals, they do
365 days a year.
They're fucking on the road.
They don't even have time to rehab most of the
time.
Right.
Right. Unless, like, you know, you fucking tear your rotator cuff for both of them. We're not going to see Sammy for a while.
Oh, God, that was the worst thing, too, because all he did was do his normal entrance and then blew out his rotator cuff.
Yeah.
Like, that was like heartbreaking because it's like he's just like being ska. Yeah, I love ska.
He's just skanking around
and then
got
I'm gonna throw my hand. Oh, God, and you could see it too. You saw him throw his arms up and then just go, fuck.
Pick it up. I can't pick it up. I have no arm.
But especially because the spot that injured Paige again. I mean, she had a pre-existing injury.
Right.
It was what it was, but it wasn't a Canadian destroyer.
Right.
It was knees to the back, and they were hard knees, but that's how Paige called for it. She said, "Fucking hit me."
Yeah.
You know, do it, and it's unfortunate. You know,
right.
Shit happens.
If Sasha did that half-assed, everyone would say, "What a shitty spot."
Exactly.
Well, like so no one like calls out like Owen Hart, and the sit out pile driver from the tombstone position is a very dangerous spot.
Joe Landry calls him out anytime he sees Owen Hart.
It's like that is like either you tombstone onto
How many times has he seen him recently?
Every time. you tombstone onto your knees, or you have them facing the other way for a sit-down pop so they can move their neck so they don't have that happen. That was a dangerous spot. And I know Austin has said 100 times, and, you can question whether it's because Owen Hart obviously is no longer with us, but Austin has said, you know what? It just went wrong. There was no hard feelings about it.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. It's like, I mean...
Like, think of how D'Lo Brown feels.
Oh, D'Lo Brown, like, basically fucking quit wrestling from that.
No, he still wrestles indies.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't look good. He looks like shit.
Does he still wear that dope-ass, like, chest
No,
protector?
he wears a shirt because he's fat now. Oh, fatter than he was.
Yeah.
But, like...
D'Lo was on. He had a great frog splash.
Draws cannot walk for the rest of his life because of that.
Yeah, but he has a dope-ass wheelchair.
I heard that he's regained movement in his arms.
That's awesome.
So, awesome for Draws. I was honestly, as such of a low card like nobody, I was a big Draws fan. Yeah. I loved Draws.
He could just throw up. That was awesome.
He's gonna puke. Like, I don't know, just his in-ring style was kind of, because he was in LOD 2000.
Yes.
Which
For
was
whatever
hysterical.
reason, yes, he was.
Like, but it was funny because, like, these two guys are
so is Sonny.
6 foot,
That's all I remember
6, like 400 pounds, and he's like maybe 6'1".
Yeah.
Like maybe
250 probably.
Tops.
Yeah.
Probably less.
What did he play in the NFL? He was like a cornerback or something.
Something like that.
Safety.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't know what either of those mean, do you?
They are positions on a football team.
Yeah. What side of the ball?
Defense.
Yeah.
See, I know shit. You gotta understand. Like,
what's his name? Darren Draws, right? Drozdov?
Yeah, Drozdov.
Okay. Let me see.
My uncle coached for St. Peter Marion for many years. So I grew up around football because my dad and my uncle were big football fans.
6'3", 281.
Wow.
Holy shit. He's a lot bigger than I remember him being.
He played tackle for the Broncos, and then he went up north to Montreal.
He probably dropped weight by the time we saw him.
Yeah, there's no way he was 280
No.
when we saw him.
Well, and that's Vince's thing, too, is if you look fat, he doesn't like that. That's why he hates KO.
Yeah.
I heard he wasn't a huge Viscera fan. He only really liked Viscera because Viscera was also like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
So he was a monster.
Actually,
Big Daddy V was someone I never really cared for. I don't know. There was something. I think it was because there was zero character development for him.
he was billed at 250 in the WWF.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I didn't like matches with Viscera because there's literally no one who can move him. So what's the point? Like,
right. You just
like when he loses because he goes for a splash or something and he misses.
Yeah.
Like that's how he lost. Because even if John Cena was around there, he's not AAing that guy. Like it's just not happening. Dude, he was north of like
6.
Yeah, and it wasn't like Big Show, where Big Show was all, even when he was at his fattest, he was still very muscular and he could lift himself up.
Right.
Viscera couldn't. I mean, God, imagine the shits that guy takes or took, because he's dead.
He died February 18th, 2014.
He did.
Big Daddy V was billed at 487, 6'9". That is a fucking
massive human being.
That's a lot of man.
Well, and that shows you how overblown like Big Show always was.
Yeah.
Big Show is like legit. I think he's 6'8", 6'9".
No. Big Show's over 7.
Yeah.
Is he 7?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He has
But
the
he's
same condition that Andre had, but he had the surgery.
But there's no way even at his fattest, there was no way that he was legit over 500 pounds. Yeah. Like, he was probably pretty close. Now he probably only weighs like probably 350.
Yeah.
I would say, because he's
350 to
slimmed
4.
down.
Right.
He looks great. He looks fantastic.
When you're that big, you like he couldn't weigh 200 pounds.
No, God,
where
no.
it's like
his bones weigh 200 pounds.
Anyone in this room could weigh 200 pounds, like with.
I'm going to go eat some pizza after this, so probably not.
I mean, probably not, but it's like we all could do it.
Yes.
But
you'd have to gain some weight.
I would have to gain 30 pounds, but Fucking challenge accepted.
All right. After the show, we're just going to order pizza and Chinese.
I'm just going to crush beer.
And we're going to smoke a straight O. That's an ounce of marijuana, just so people know.
Thank you. I didn't know what that was.
You're welcome.
Yeah. No, it's weird. I've lost weight since I've, like, really started ramping up the weed game. I don't know. It's weird. But
I've gained weight. Anyways.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I was on like super strict diet for a while.
Yeah.
And I was still partaking, but I was like snacking on like fucking like baby carrots and shit like that.
dude,
But now I'm
on
like eating a bag of Doritos.
double stuff Oreos and a glass of milk
Double stuffed.
in my 6
Just
plaid
like
cup.
Paige. Right back to it. I'm sorry.
I get it, and it's gross.
If I try to pay attention to a diet, I end up gaining weight every single time.
Yep.
If I do nothing but like eat a pizza and then nothing else all day, I'll drop like 40 pounds.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. Bodies are weird.
So, just a little housekeeping real quick. I want to apologize.
For what? Apologize for nothing.
I want to apologize to Mr. Graham Bagshaw for posting a very innocent Twitter post the other day about Nova Pro, or was it the other one?
Proveno.
Yeah. Anyways, he posted a very innocent thing about him and his 10-year-old son going to wrestling, and myself, Mr. Mags and Bags, Miss Deathwish, Melissa, and Mike hijacked his post and talked about pegging for about 200 posts.
We provided him with hours of entertainment.
Wait. Okay, one, how did I not see this so I could take part? And two, what the fuck are you guys doing?
We literally did it all day
No,
yesterday.
it was completely organic, too. It just kind of happened out of nowhere to the point where there were people in the post who didn't know Graham and were just like, I don't know how I ended up here. So that's my apology.
God damn it.
Yeah, it was fucked up.
Graham is like our actual adult friend. Like, sure, we have kids.
Right.
But Graham's like a full-on fucking...
Like, he has a real
Yeah,
job.
he has a job where he can't comment on Twitter all day.
Like,
Yeah, neither do I. But I still find time.
Yeah, if you ask my boss, I don't either.
Yeah. No, Graham's like...
he's a respectable individual.
Graham's the type of guy who New Balances are fucking a way of life.
Graham, we're going to need to know about that. Do you, in fact, wear New Balance dad shoes?
And if you do, how many pairs do you own?
I own a pair.
I do too.
The United States Air Force was nice enough to give me a pair.
Those are my workout shoes.
I have not worn them since 2005.
The United States Air Force.
Yeah.
You were in the Air Force?
Yeah.
Was in the Army.
Tom was in the army.
Because we can just say
Tom
now.
was in the army.
No, it doesn't matter. He left. Fuck him. His real name's... You can find him at... I was going to give his address, but I don't know his address.
I do. But I'm not going to.
Place in Auburn.
Yeah.
He's there again, right?
Yeah.
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 And yet he still can't fucking show up for a guest spot. Granted, we don't really reach out to him that
We didn't
often.
really like ask him.
We did that one time, like
I mean,
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and it was just like in passing, but then we didn't really.
Well, because he slept in. Because he was out all night masturbating.
Out all night.
Yeah,
masturbating?
why wasn't he doing that in his house?
How do you do it? Go to McDonald's, hang out in the bathroom.
That's weird.
That's what your wife's going to be for Halloween. I almost said Christmas.
My wife's gonna be McDonald's for Christmas. Yes. Did we say that on air?
I don't
or
think
off
so.
air?
So that sounds really fucking weird.
I'm not gonna explain it.
No, it's funnier that way.
Apparently,
That's
we did
what
it
your
on
wife's
air,
gonna be.
or the lights fucked up.
Anywho.
Trash can's over there doing whatever.
What we were
I don't know.
we were talking about draws. We talked about D-Lo. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Oh, we were talking about Hell in a Cell. That's how all of this started.
Yes, Hell in a Cell.
Heck in a Cell.
The
It didn't suck.
the mixed tag match was about. That's right around where I'd expect it to be.
Pre-mode.
I luckily
Fell asleep
No,
for 17 minutes. And
my daughter hadn't finished her homework, so I got to go upstairs and finish it. And then I just got to hear
She's never gonna learn that way.
Joe Landry's commentary from downstairs going, "What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? This is fucking stupid."
Does he watch? Is he a full-time watcher, or is he
Yeah.
every now and then?
Yeah, and he still lives with his parents, so he has like cable and stuff, so he watches.
Is that the only way you can have cable at this point? Well, I mean, what's the point of having cable? I mean,
I don't know. I haven't had it in fucking.
yeah.
I haven't had cable for probably 18 of the last 20 years of my life.
We had the black box when I was a kid.
When we moved to Auburn when I was little, my dad just screwed the coax into the wall and it worked, and so we never did anything about it. And then when we moved to the only town in Massachusetts where cable is fully not available. Like you can't get it.
Did you move to Princeton?
No, we moved to New Braintree,
Oh.
street fight capital of the world. And
Your dad, of course,
World
being
star.
former world heavyweight champion Christian.
Captain Charisma.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we talked about in the episode that Scott's father passed away a few months ago, and they have the little like prayer cards with the picture of the person on it.
yes, instead of a prayer, we had a Bouncing Souls quote.
It's true. I have it in my
That's
desk
awesome.
upstairs. So I picked it
That's
up,
awesome.
and I go over to Tommy Collins and other guy who I kind of know, but super tall dude.
Super tall, dude.
Yeah, he's tall. He had kind of like a soccer mom haircut.
Paul White?
No. Anyways, I don't know.
Oh, I think you're talking about my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was. No, it wasn't.
James.
I don't know. Anyways, and so I'm like, hey, Scott's dad looked like Christian, and I show Tommy Collins, and he goes, "What are you fucking?" Oh yeah, like he never noticed it until I brought it up.
Yeah. That's because Tom Collins was usually running away in fear from my dad.
So
My dad was like, total party enabler, but also the most terrifying man in the world. Just like, he would yell and kids you didn't even know were at our house would just like scatter.
Come out of the woodwork.
My parents' house, like growing up, it was always like, it was the cool house, so my brother would just be like, fuck it, it's Tuesday, let's have a party. And we'd have a fucking like 30-person rager on like a Tuesday night, and then everybody would go to school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
elementary school, of course.
Elementary. Yes.
So many Capri Suns.
Oh man, fucked up off of fucking ecto coolers.
Ecto Coolers, Pringles, man.
In high school, kids called my brother Columbine because he wouldn't talk to anybody. He just like sat there with a pissed off look on his face the whole
Oh my
time.
god.
But then once he graduated, he became friends with kids that were in my grade and like started a band with them, still in a band with
Yeah.
them, and like became the coolest dude ever because we had the in-law apartment that we could party in, and then somehow they would get beer and copious amounts of marijuana, and we would have a fucking great time.
I had when I was in like high school, a lot of Korn, Disturbed, Slipknot. That I was a new metal kid, and
Neat.
yeah, right. And this cunt wrote me into and it's funny because I didn't even really hang out with this chick. Like I knew her, but I didn't really give a shit. She wrote me into the yearbook with a buddy of mine as most likely to shoot up the school.
Oh god.
And her name was Kirsten Dunn, and we've been married for 9 years.
I didn't go to high school with her.
Yes, you did.
She didn't go to Millbury.
My wife? Yeah.
Since fucking when?
I don't know. I'm assuming the early to mid 2000s.
How old is she?
30.
That's why. She was 3 years younger than me.
Oh, right. Oh, that's right. You're fucking Dumpy's age. That's my sister-in-law.
I honestly didn't know she even lived in Millbury.
I don't think they did. I think they lived in Worcester, but just went to Millbury. I don't know. I don't know how any of it worked.
I don't remember any of that.
She has a scattered childhood.
That's weird.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah, so I don't know. But it's also where I fell in love with pro wrestling.
Millbury High School?
Well, I mean, it was also during like the mid to late 90s when wrestling was at its biggest.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I started watching one in like 92 with my dad.
I got really into it just before the Attitude Era.
Everyone did.
And then
that was kind of
it, like that was I would wear a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt to school every fucking day.
That was like what, 4th or 5th grade, right?
Yeah. Are we the same age?
Yeah,
31?
but you were I will be 31. You were one ahead of me, I think.
Yeah, so it was 5th grade. There was a picture from Spree Day. Did you guys did Spree Day, right?
Yeah,
There's a picture from Spree Day, and every boy in my class doing the fucking cross chop, fucking nothing like, it was probably like 12 out of 24 of kids.
I had a Wolfpack shirt for every day of the week, and then when I was on the basketball team, I wore the Triple H shirt that said "It's good to be king" on the back underneath my jersey every game.
Nice.
Until I lost it.
It was a good shirt.
I love that shirt. I wish they would bring it back for the retro days.
Classic.
Just the H with the 3 next to it.
Oh, speaking of Triple H, that was the shittiest logo. I hated that logo. But speaking of Triple H, I heard rumors that at not the Greatest Royal Rumble,
The Crown Jewel.
it's gonna be Triple H versus The Undertaker in a tag team match with Shawn Michaels on one side and Kane on the other. I'll let you figure it out, but I did a shitty job of
I think we
explaining
figured.
that,
I think it's DX versus the Brothers of Destruction.
That might be
that
it.
sounds more accurate.
Honestly, if they're going to return, if HBK is coming back, obviously we all would love Triple H versus HBK or Undertaker versus HBK or something like that, But realistically speaking, for 2 of those guys, they should be in a tag match. Obviously, Taker and HBK. HBK is going to be full of ring rust.
Yeah.
Taker is just he's winding down. Kane and Triple H can still work, and they can work consistently.
Just
Yes.
keep Shawn Michaels away from Seth Rollins. Let him wrestle anybody else on the card. Keep him away from Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think
Or Samoa Joe.
Or Samoa
I think
Joe,
a tag match would be a good. See, like I'm seeing a lot of people saying like, oh well, don't tarnish your retirement by coming back. I think the statute of limitations for his retirement has passed.
Yeah.
He is retired.
It's been almost 10 years.
Yeah, this isn't Jordan coming back to play on the Wizards. This is
Right. This is, he's had a lot of fucking time away. He looks great, by the way.
Yeah.
The haircut doesn't look great, but
He just looks like a guy.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
But he's still got that cool dagger heart tattoo. So I mean,
yes, he does.
Now, he looks a lot more even shredded than he was in his prime.
Oh,
He
yeah,
looks
yeah,
like
yeah.
he spends a lot of time. He's got time on his hands.
Well,
What is he trying to do?
here's the thing about wrestling now and wrestling then. Now
it's different.
Now, nutrition has evolved.
True.
Yeah.
Just everything has evolved.
There's DDP yoga.
There's DDP yoga.
I gotta bring that to you.
Yeah, thanks, man. Trying to get into shape. I gotta run some fucking Warrior Dash or Mud Race or whatever the one they do at Fenway I have to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Spartan.
I've never done any of those.
Yeah, me neither. My
Are
dad
you
ran
gonna
it.
Are you gonna run the Spartan at Fenway?
Yes, that's what it is. My
You know
dad.
that's brutal.
My
right?
dad ran it and was like, "Oh, this is super fun. We'll do it next year." And then he died, so my sister was like, "Well, we said we'd do it, so now we have to." I'm like, "Fuck."
It's
God damn it, Dad! Why'd you have to be into fucking working out?
You're gonna have to run the steps of Fenway.
You mean I'm going to waddle with momentum this time?
You get to do push-ups in the locker room. I know that's part of it.
How old was your dad? Was it like the Arnold thing, like my dad?
Yeah, my dad, like 2 years ago, my parents joined a gym, and then like they would do classes, and then it like just became like 6 days a week they were at the gym.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, more so my dad than my mom. My mom, she goes to yoga a couple times a week and will work out, but my dad was going like spin class before work and stuff, and had like a crew of people, and they all got into like super shape, and
Yeah.
just my dad probably lost like 30 pounds from when he started working out and was just like ripped, and I was like, okay.
I'm
Cool.
a fat piece of shit. Dad, good for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a lot skinnier than I was.
Silence.
I'm just taking a sip of my sugary iced coffee.
Delicious. So you can gain another pound.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I just weighed myself.
Heck in a cell.
Heck in a cell.
Heck in a cell. Joe and Styles put on a fucking clinic.
Yes.
That was a great match.
Yeah. They do pretty well together.
They have been wrestling each other for 18 years. And I don't remember any match I've seen between the two of them that has been bad.
No,
I don't know what happened with Shinsuke and AJ. Something was not right about that. I don't know if one of them was hurt that entire time and they just worked through it. I don't know, but it was not what we got at Wrestle Kingdom 10.
I'm gonna assume
9.
Yeah.
Yeah, because 10 was Coda and
Joe and Styles gave us as good of a match as they've ever given us. You know, they put on a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
I think it's also because it's been a long time since WWE has done the attacking the family storyline.
Yeah.
And it's been long enough where it's interesting again.
And it's not
and it's
involving
done well.
Triple H.
Yeah, that too.
You know. Or the McMahon family.
Wendy. Like, Joe is... I don't know. Joe is such a great heel.
And has the shittiest entrance music.
I love it.
Bow, bow.
I hate it. Somebody, I was scrolling through Twitter when I was watching it, and somebody said it reminds them of sexy elephants dancing.
I mean, when I think of Samoa Joe,
it's like, yeah, I can picture that.
I think of the hippos and tutus.
Boom, 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 boom.
And the funny thing is,
Yeah,
it's just a rip off of his TNA music. So it's like kind of like I wish they'd done more.
He has like a large part to say with his entrance music.
Well,
apparently that was in his contract.
That sucks because
That's a bad
music
choice.
Because he wants that Godzilla thing in all of his themes.
It's I don't know.
He's I mean, Joe is also a guy that even though they brought him, I wonder if NXT was a request, because I feel like Joe had a name enough where they could have brought him straight to the main roster.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted to maybe go to NXT just maybe to get used to the style, get used to the ring.
Yep.
You know, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the hiring process for NXT is, or the hiring process for the company in general. Like, you've got a guy like Dijak. Dijak's going to the Performance Center. He's going to NXT. There's no way he was big here because Dijak's from here, and we've seen him wrestle at every promotion under the sun.
He was
here.
fairly big throughout.
Well, because he wrestled, I think, PWG, and like
he was all over the Midwest.
He did. I think he did the Top Prospects Ring of Honor tournament.
He won it, didn't he? I think he won it.
I can look that up.
And didn't he? Was it Bola that he did for PWG?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is essentially their WrestleMania. So I mean, and PWG, you can consider PWG the biggest indie organization.
Yep.
Maybe Evolve. It kind of
It's probably PWG though.
Yeah. At least West Coast. Evolve is more East Coast,
right?
And PWG is West Coast. So,
West, y'all. Matt Riddle made his debut last night.
Yeah, at the house show.
Oh, did he really?
Not wearing shoes, by the way.
Yeah.
Everyone was complaining about it. They're like, Rusev used to not wear shoes, but now he does. It's like Rusev also shattered his foot.
Yeah.
They want him to wear shoes because he was having foot injuries repeatedly. Matt Riddle's been, working his career without shoes for a while. He did UFC without shoes too. Because you can't kick if you wear shoes in UFC, right?
Right. I don't even know if I've ever seen anybody wear shoes in UFC.
Dijak won it in 2015. Yeah. Ooh, Miracle Mike Bennett won it in 2011.
Also, terrible gimmick in WWE.
I don't know who that is.
Mike Bennett?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dude,
as soon as you said Mike Bennett, the Miracle thing threw me off.
Founding member of the Kingdom, man.
Yeah, with Matt Taven.
I like Taven. I don't love him, but I like him. I like Marseglia better.
Yes.
Because he's got I love the Horror King character.
Yeah, it's not a character. That's real life.
I think that's just him.
That's real life. I used to not like Vinny, and that now I've seen him a few times, and I'm like, all right,
that's what it took
I
for
dig
me.
it. I get it.
I saw him right before. I got lucky to see him perform right before he signed full time with Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
At XWA. When he was in a cage match. I forget who. I honestly don't remember who he wrestled, but it was great because it was around Halloween, so it was kind of like his time.
Yeah.
I think he was champion at the time, actually.
Post Labor Day, the Tuesday after Labor Day, through Thanksgiving. That's Halloween time. So the fall.
No more white pants. All Halloween.
How many pairs of white pants do you own there, bud?
One.
Do you really?
I have a pair of white linen pants.
That's wonderful.
That's fucked up.
So when you go yachting,
No.
what do you wear white linen pants for?
Yachting.
I bought them because I thought it was hilarious, and then I've worn them to like parties.
Southern courtroom.
We did so when I first started working at my new job, my boss is from Kentucky, so we did a Kentucky Derby party, and I busted out the white linen pants, and I had like a red checkered button up.
So
There's women with fans.
I've got a you know like some people like to hold like fancy dress parties, like they just want to feel like adults for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
My
We
friends
have
used to do that.
Spaghetti Fest.
That's actually why I bought them, was because of one of those parties.
I refuse, because like you're supposed to wear like like business casual or a suit, like that's what they want you wearing. I always do the Steve Jobs. I wear jeans with a turtleneck.
black
And
turtleneck?
since I'm like, I'm not bald, but it's happening.
You're getting there, bud.
I always just dress like Steve Jobs, and then I try to explain the new iOS to people.
Do you wear like the oversized crew socks and everything too?
No, I don't fuck with my socks too much, but I do. I just wear sneakers, jeans, and like or I'll wear like a button-up shirt.
Yeah.
Or like
You just walk into a room and start pacing.
Oh no, it's the exact same thing I do. As soon as someone starts talking to me, I just walk back and forth, and I don't look at them. I look down as I'm talking, and then I look up when I have something important.
Telling them what they want, but they don't realize they want yet.
Yeah, like
Fuck that guy.
yeah.
Like, it sucks. I'm sorry for his family that
he
died,
invented honestly he
was a dick.
He was a creative genius. He created a lot of good stuff, and that's kind of why I'm not big on Apple anymore, because I don't feel like they
try.
They don't try anymore.
When Jobs was developing everything had to be a step forward. Now it's just a step sideways to
Or
me.
a step back.
Yeah,
It's, hey,
like
we added
headphones.
this thing that
Yeah.
Android has.
I don't know. I mean, that's the main reason I got the S9 Plus, because it still had a headphone jack. Even though I've heard that Samsung is considering moving away from it because everyone else is. Whatever. That's off topic. This is not the mobile communications podcast.
No.
This is the Blade Job. Hell in a Cell.
Heck in a Cell. Had the stupidest fucking ending.
Yep.
Let's just go right there.
No contest in a Hell in a Cell doesning make sense.
Nope.
So especially because the finish.
Paul Heyman, Mason McFoley made perfect sense.
Finish had Lesnar F5ing Roman Reigns, who landed partway on top of Braun Strowman. Why didn't we just have that be? That would have made more sense.
Yeah.
Someone counts a 3 count because he's on top of him.
It wouldn't have been a good ending, but it would have been.
It would have been an
better
acceptable ending
Yeah.
to, honestly, a pretty decent match.
Yeah.
Like, Braun and Roman actually
Yep.
do work really well together.
I thought the Shield and Ziggle Pops and Drew McIntyre coming out and, fighting on top of the cage, like, that was pretty cool.
Their match was match of the night to me. for me.
Yeah, they had a really
the tag
good
match was great. The fucking Claymore during the Falcon's Arrow,
Dude.
brilliant spot.
Yep. He is going places.
I think that Dean Ambrose has done trap workouts exclusively.
Well, did you hear?
Like, I'm a fan. I want.
Did you
that.
hear what
Yep.
happened during his surgery?
No.
They found an infection in his muscle, and he had to go in for another surgery. That's why he was gone for so long.
Yeah.
He almost lost his arm.
Holy shit.
He said he had he lost all muscle in his left arm, I think it was, wherever he had the surgery. Like, he almost died.
He said he had a staph infection.
Yeah, his
That's
infection was so
crazy.
bad that Dean Ambrose almost died from it. So that's why he had to work out so much, because he literally had to rebuild his muscle.
And
It shows.
He did a
Yeah.
good job.
Yep.
But it also looks like with his new beard and hair, it looks like he's the type of guy who quit smoking butts because it's unhealthy, but then just started doing dip a lot.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm almost
Yep.
sure that actually happened.
It probably did. I wonder if he's still doing those weird Dorito sandwiches.
Yeah, smoking's bad.
Oh man,
Give me some
that table
skull.
for 3 is my. Have you watched the table 3 with the Shield?
No.
It's Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. They get their dinner, and it's like 0 carbs, like soup, and he gets like fucking like a Texas toast sandwich with, instead of a salad on the side, they bring him like barbecue potato chips, and Ambrose is just like, yeah, no, you fucking you drop an egg in that bitch, and oh man, it's a fucking, and they're sitting there like, you know we don't eat any of this, right? And he's like, oh, you fucking pussies. Not really in so many words, but essentially, like...
And he ate the entire time.
Yeah.
And as someone who I can't stand when people eat, like, with their mouth open or anything like that, it drives me up a wall. Like, that whole table for three, he is just chewing those chips and that sandwich as loudly as he possibly
and he's
can.
mic'd. Because he's got a mic on him.
Like, usually on table for three, they don't eat, like...
No, unless it's Kevin Nash, like,
they
making jokes.
They
like,
show a quick like usual shot of them eating, but they cut out the actual times when they're eating food and just have the stories.
And then you can just see Kevin Nash drinking like 9 bottles of wine.
Yeah, when he's like, try the
No,
steak.
he had beer in that one.
I didn't ruin WCW. It's like,
There was a picture.
Eric.
Scott Hall posted a picture of him and Nash, and I don't. Maybe it's the adult in me, but I felt like really concerned for a second because right at the edge of the picture, next to Hall, there's clearly a Bloody Mary, and I'm like, yo, I think you're supposed to be sober, man.
yeah, you shouldn't do that. Bloody Marys lead to cocaine. It's science.
It is.
I mean, when you're Scott Hall.
So glad I don't like Bloody Marys.
I don't like. No, Bloody Marys are gross. Especially like now they're like, oh, can I get the super deluxe Bloody Mary? It's got a fucking slice of pizza in it. And I'm like, what's
like
the
bacon?
point,
Yeah.
guys?
I haven't.
Stop ruining my bacon.
I haven't drank liquor in over 2 years.
Good for
I
you.
had
I don't really drink beer either.
I had like I had a mixed drink like a couple months ago, and I had a beer with dinner like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like I just don't drink.
I had 4 Manhattans last night.
Someone's
And that's
got a problem.
why you were late. Okay, all right. That now it all makes sense.
Yeah, because not only were you drinking a fucking pussy drink,
Yeah, that is not a pussy
Manhattan's
drink.
not a pussy drink.
I
at
consider
all.
it a pussy drink.
It's literally just whiskey and 12% wine.
Yeah, no, that's a pussy drink. That's
No, that's a fucking.
It tastes like pure gasoline.
that's a
Getting fucked up drink.
whiskey that they had to cut with wine because the person couldn't drink whiskey.
Oh, I drink whiskey straight all the time. But
That's
if I'm at a
gross.
fancy bar,
Whiskey.
I do whiskey on the rocks
Whiskey,
all the
scotch,
time.
and bourbon all taste like old, dirty wine to me.
Yeah,
That's gross.
that's kind of their thing.
Like rum is better.
that's my number 2.
It's poop.
I like, give me a Captain and Ginger. Tastes like cream soda.
When I go to a bar, I usually get a Coca-Cola, medium ice.
Nice. Medium ice.
Medium
You're not
ice,
the
guys.
full old man, no ice yet?
No.
Can I get
you give
room
me more
temperature
than-
Coca-Cola, please?
Oh, I'll drink room temperature Coke
and a
all
pack
fucking
of
day.
Yeah.
Lucky Strikes.
Can you just put it in the microwave and nuke it for 2 seconds?
I smoke Marlboro 27s.
I know you do. It's
are
hard to
good.
tell right now. Anyway, so Heck in a Cell, Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
Oh my god.
Dear God, what a fucking match!
Yeah.
It was goddamn brilliant.
My wife was still awake when that match was on, and she said, "Hey, that blonde one's boobs got bigger."
Well,
Yep.
because
And
she
I was
popped
like,
one and she had
yeah.
to get
Popped
new
both of
ones
them.
put in.
Yeah.
She also
Yeah.
lost a tooth. Like within like 2 weeks, she popped her boob and then lost a tooth.
She does nothing for me. I can't, like, the whole time I'm watching the match, I'm thinking, why are you on my TV? That's
Charlotte?
Charlotte. I can't.
She's
I can't
a
do it.
very good wrestler.
I don't see it.
She looks too much like her dad for me to find sexual attraction to her.
Correct.
She's a very beautiful woman, but she looks like Ric Flair, and
She needs to stop doing the spear. You can tell that it's like focused on, like, she is making it, like, taking her time, and she's too tall for everybody else in that roster, and it just looks like
Yeah.
she's, like, bending her waist down and then running towards them.
I love Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I think she's probably the best on that roster.
No one else can do that character right now either.
No.
You couldn't put
She
anyone else in that
is-
spot.
No.
she is so good at.
Wrestling in general.
You can tell that she is a student of the craft kind of thing.
Yep.
She's not like, they're like, be a bad person. They're like, okay, grr, you suck. Like she probably, when they were like, we're turning you heel, she probably,
It's about fucking toying.
She probably was like, I got 50 ideas.
yeah,
Let's
because
sit down.
she's someone who's been very open about, it's like her and Bailey are two people who have like, I've been watching since I was like 4.
Yep.
Like, this is my jam. If you want to be, what kind of heel do you want me to be? Here, like you said, here are the 50 ideas I have for a heel turn.
Right.
Bailey as a heel Could it? Do you think that?
Yes,
would ever
it
be
could
able to
have,
work?
but
Yep.
instead they gave us
Well,
one
no,
week.
not that. But like, do you think she could be
Yes,
Yes.
like
absolutely. I think
I heard her on the Edge and Christian podcast, and she was talking about how she wants to keep the inflatables but have them be black.
that would be awesome? Like,
Yo, Goth Bailey.
yeah.
like that's what I picture. Like
That's also
nothing,
really hot.
She wants she was like talking about like Stone Cold.
nothing changing about her outfit except for instead of like it mainly being like teal blue, it's black.
Yeah.
And just
Yep.
she's a dick and weird. Huh?
Yeah, it
It
really,
really
is.
is.
It was a weird time in wrestling.
It was a weird time.
We haven't said that in a while.
But we have said hail Satan. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Hail yourself.
He just gave you a compliment.
Thanks, man.
No, but Becky Lynch and Charlotte, like that entire match, like I was edge of my seat kind of match. Like I really enjoyed it.
They get it. Enough talking about Heck in a Cell.
All right.
Championships.
Yep.
I want to talk about this because we've been talking a while, and we kind of had an argument on Twitter yesterday.
Super Bowl.
Did you see that?
Superb
Some
Owl.
of it. I saw
Some
some
of
of
it.
it, and then
Okay.
I lost it in the thread.
Yeah, that happens.
I believe that any championship should be able to open a show. Any championship should be able to close a show. Any championship should be defended on house shows, fucking in airport fucking terminals,
Yep.
hotel rooms.
Yeah. I'm literally agreeing with you right now.
Okay, cool.
Elderly
Great.
communities.
Stop fucking defending them live on fucking YouTube or pre-shows and shit like that. The pre-shows are literally just padded time.
Yes. It's so
You get 10 minutes for a title match. Like it's so fucking stupid.
You're a warm-up act.
That's what. Yeah, they're like, oh, if we get the crowd hot, nobody gives a shit. Like half the people aren't even in the arena yet during
Right.
the pre-shows.
Right.
Nobody cares.
Or
Well-
they're buying merchandise.
correct.
And now that pay-per-views are starting at fucking 4 p.m. the day before, like,
I love that those glasses match your headphones.
it's pretty dope. It's wearing some Macho
Oh,
Man.
I'm wearing blue headphones. That's
Yeah.
right.
Anyways, I feel like if you have room on the card for Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella versus The Miz and Maurice,
That should have been a pre-show
let's
match.
put that on the pre-show and put the fucking tag titles on the goddamn main
Correct.
card. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I wish that, like, I get what you're saying. There's too many championships, and I agree.
There are way too many championships in that company.
I think that one women's tag, one men's tag. Like, I'm fine with an Intercontinental in a US and a WWE and a Universal, although the Universal, I don't know, whatever. I'm fine with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the, like, I don't think that you need a separate SmackDown tag, separate Raw tag, separate Women's Raw, separate, like, if you want to do a women's tag and maybe even a women's secondary and then just have one main. Wow, I look like a fucking lunatic.
the lunatic fringe is here. Vince, put your pants back on.
No, but like, I don't
not
care
looking
how
at
many
it.
championships there are. They don't all need to be defended every fucking show. WrestleMania, sure, because it's a fucking 13-hour show. But it's like, we have, what's the shitty one? Survivor Series in 2 months. They're going to have all those dumb fucking Survivor Series matches. So you might have 1 or 2 title defenses.
Yeah, which,
Whatever.
that's okay because that's the gimmick is like team versus team, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Champion versus champion. You're not having title matches.
Right.
Do you know what they should do for Survivor Series?
A lot of stuff. Why?
Main roster versus NXT.
That would be great. But it won't happen because NXT has War Games the night before.
And NXT is lesser. Like, it's the developmental.
And if they will do that eventually, they'll do essentially the Nexus invasion again.
Yeah.
It will happen. And it's going to be Undisputed Era who's going to lead that pack.
Yep.
We all know that.
Yes.
Anyways.
Once they get
So-
Cassius Ohno.
So what I believe should happen is let's start with just main titles. So main titles being WWE, Universal, Raw Women's, SmackDown Women's. We'll call those the main titles.
Yes.
Because they are.
Yeah.
I think that there should only be one of each. There should be a WWE Championship and a WWE Women's Championship.
Correct.
Whoever is the top of the pack, well, I almost just said it organically, which is the first time it's ever happened, the big dog.
Oh, God.
Organically.
Don't fucking say that.
The large
Organically.
canine.
Not just Michael Cole screaming it. We did a picks with a buddy of mine for SummerSlam, and one of the picks was over under on how many times a commentator says big dog during the main event.
Ugh. It's his yard.
It was over.
Of course.
Anyways.
And the line was set at 49 and a half.
The champion, it was actually 6.9.
Oh, Jesus, fucking way over.
Within the first 2 minutes.
Was it like
Christ.
15?
I think it was 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
I think 10 and a half
you
would
have
be like
you
a
have the
fair line.
WWE champion and you have the WWE Women's Champion, and whoever's at the top of the pack is interbrand. I'm saying keep the brand split. The champion shows up on both shows.
I'm fine with keeping the brand split, but loosely keep it.
I think if you do that, you're going to have an issue where people are not going to want to be champion. That's a lot of travel.
It's already a lot of I don't know.
They still, if you look at where shows are, they're not that far away from
No,
each
right.
other.
It's you'll have Raw in Boston and SmackDown in Hartford.
Yeah.
So
it's a fucking
Because
2-3 hours.
Are you
ride.
expecting those champions to wrestle on both?
Okay,
Raw and SmackDown?
so you're saying that Corey Graves should have to travel, but Roman Reigns shouldn't? Is that what you're telling me? You're telling me that Roman Reigns is better than Corey Graves?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. No, Corey Graves isn't physically.
No, I'm saying that Roman Reigns shouldn't travel.
Ever.
He should just stay in
Go
Pensacola.
home.
Have a couch match every Monday.
So I think the world titles should be defended interbrand at all times. So that way your main event is always your world championship match, unless you have a marquee match. I am okay with a marquee match main eventing a show. Triple H, Vince McMahon, stuff like that. This has been happening for a long time. Sorry, we're not getting Triple H, Vince McMahon. We're getting Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. It happens. Deal with it. It's just whatever. But out of the 12 pay-per-views,
there was so much reverb on that right there.
Yeah, out of the 12 pay-per-views, at least I'd say 8 of them should have the WWE Championship in the main event.
Yes.
Anyways.
Unless it's not being defended, which I have no problem with it not being defended.
No, I agree with you.
Because it has to be defended on every show. So we're going to get AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura
14 times.
Fucking 14 times. And guess what? 13 of them aren't going to be that good.
No.
That WrestleMania match should have been one of the best matches we've ever seen.
But
really
the whole
should've.
and you know what? The reason it wasn't is because they knew that this was going through fucking SummerSlam or whatever it was.
So you
Rules.
you have that match what was that Super Slam over in England, 92, 93? Bulldog against Brett.
Yeah.
That was an Intercontinental Championship match headlining the show.
Yeah.
And guess what? That's one of the best matches in WWE history.
Yeah.
It's one of those matches that is more than just a wrestling match. They were at Wembley Stadium in London, where British Bulldog's from. He was fighting his arch rival / brother-in-law for the Intercontinental Championship. That is a very meaningful match to me. I feel like that's fine.
Absolutely.
I would, if you treated it right, you could headline a pay-per-view, probably not a Big Four, but you could headline a pay-per-view with the Cruiserweight Championship.
Absolutely.
If you build it that way, and that is completely fine to me. You can go and watch a New Japan match where the junior heavyweight is a headline match.
But here's the difference, though, and this is the reason people had issues with Brock Lesnar is who was champion before Omega? Okada
was there.
Didn't defend the title all the time, but he always was there.
He always wrestled. He was in a fucking 14-man tag match or whatever New Japan does.
Yeah, for the Super Never Triple Heavyweight Tag Team.
One of the 32 titles they have.
But that's fine. But every title in New Japan, you're like, fuck, they're defending the 6-man tag match, the six-man tag belts. I'm gonna watch that. I would love to see that. Oh, they're defending the fucking the junior heavyweight, the US. They're all good
represented.
belts. Like any one of those IWGP belts, you're gonna like. You'll never see the IWGP Intercontinental Championship treated like a fucking joke. I mean, it's kind of in the background right now because Jericho holds it and everything, but you're never gonna see that be like, oh yeah, whatever. But there was a while in the 2000s where the WWE Intercontinental Championship, who fucking cares? That the round one?
Even like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that round one, like, yeah, there were moments that were kind of like the title holders were a little cringeworthy, or they were comedy wrestlers or whatever. But you also had Chris Jericho and Triple H and Chyna. Chyna, that's the belt that Chyna held, which was
true.
A momentous occasion in WWE. She is still to this day the only woman to ever hold the Intercontinental Championship.
As far as I know, yes.
Did Beth Phoenix ever
That's
win
what
it?
I was going to say. I think maybe Beth.
I don't think she actually won it. I think she challenged
Yeah,
for it, maybe.
yeah.
To the internet.
Here's my feeling. Each show can have its own mid-card championship. We'll say we'll have the IC title on Raw. And as much as I am a WCW guy, WCW has been gone for 16 years. Mm-hmm. 16 years. The U.S. title has a lot of history behind it. It is the last remnant of WCW.
I'm fine with it.
Get rid of it. Replace it with a television championship. The television title is defended every week on SmackDown.
I think that's a good idea.
You know what I think?
What?
I think you get rid of it and then have Adam, whoever it is, come up with the Northeast Championship.
Nope.
Or
NXT.
What is it? North American.
NXT is perfectly balanced right now because the UK title, for the most part, isn't a factor. Like, yeah, they're gonna have Ricochet and Dunn.
You don't think it's gonna be too many titles?
No.
Coming up?
No, because
the main roster already has too many titles. NXT makes sense.
NXT has the perfect amount of titles.
Main title.
But they're adding more, aren't they?
Correct. So,
well, in the UK brand.
So here, let me just say this real quick. What I'm pretty sure is going to happen is you have your NXT Championship, and that is here, and then you have your North American, you have your UK, Australia, Japan, whatever they do, however many NXTs they have.
Right.
So they're going to have the UK championship.
It's
North
equivalent
American.
with their mid-card title, but it's the main title in NXT UK.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. Yep. It is. Yeah. And then so the North American title will be defended at NXT Full Sail. The UK title will be defended at NXT
Royal Albert Hall.
Royal Albert, fucking Prince Albert in a can. And
oh man, Matt Bloom.
Lord Tensai. And
God.
so I mean, that's fine. I think that's how it should be. That's how the NWA was, where you had the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, and then you had, the Mid-South or whatever.
The NWA Florida Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, whatever the case may be. You have your territory's main title, but then you have the main title.
Just 1 second. We like to talk about Vince McMahon's an insane person. So this is what happened. It just clicked with me. Matt, welcome back to WWE. It's been a while. How you doing? Oh, I'm good, Vince. I'm good. Great. So you spent a lot of time in Japan, right? You trained a lot in there. You wrestled over in Japan. Yeah, I had a great time in Japan. Okay, your new gimmick is you're Japanese. The fuck, Vince?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. You are a big not fat.
No.
A little bit fat.
No, he's a fat guy.
Bald white guy, and they're like, okay, you're Japanese now. It's just like Yokozuna. Oh, you look kind of Japanese. Samoan. Yeah, you're Japanese.
Close enough, you're not white.
Pretty much.
I love him.
Anyways,
I love him.
Titles, championships, yeah, that's interesting.
That Cruiserweight match was fantastic this week, by the way.
I haven't seen it, but I would like to.
Did you see the spot? The suplex spot?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my fucking God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I love how 205 is just like they're letting them do their thing. Because
Yep.
the first couple episodes, I watched the first few episodes of 205, and I was just like,
They're not good.
all right, so they're big man wrestling, but they're all fucking 180 pounds. Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's what Vince wanted.
Like, why would I watch these little guys do big man moves on other little when you have Neville fucking suplexing Roman Reigns, that's awesome. When you have Neville, standing vertical suplex Enzo or Brian Kendrick.
Yeah.
Brian Kendrick weighs 150 fucking pounds. I could vertical stalling suplex him
Right.
Yeah.
easily. That's not that cool.
I mean, I don't want to sound disrespectful in any way,
but you're gonna.
if you're designated as a cruiserweight and that's how you identify as that's your style, you're a spot monkey. That's the way it is. Cruiserweight wrestling is high flying spots.
Dean Malenko would disagree with you.
Yeah.
Spot monkey. I don't care if it's a high spot or if it's a submission spot. It's spots. It's not brawling. It's
But isn't
not
all of wrestling spots?
Yes.
yes and no. Like you have Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is a brawler style wrestler.
Correct.
He's a street fighter. That's what he is.
He's a prize fighter.
whatever.
In that regard, would you say that the main card, like the Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, is also spot monkeys? Because they do 5 moves.
No, that's
No,
the
they
thing.
don't. They do 3.
Yeah, they do 3. That's the thing is
Collectively, they do 5.
Oh, yes.
they're power wrestlers.
Right.
Their spots. I mean, you break it down, and the term spots is anything.
Right.
But you take the term spot monkey,
also
and
the
it
name of my
specifically refers to high spots.
Right.
Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar you're going to see suplexes. You are going to see, no offense to these guys, you're going to see the things you learn in your first week of wrestling school.
Right. And that sweet
You
drop
don't
kick.
learn a fucking off the fucking announce table onto the floor Spanish fly your first day.
What is that move called that Neville used to do all the time, where he does like the flip over them and drops their head in between his legs on his way down? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
No, I can't picture it. He flips over their head.
And like he has a foot on either side of their head, and he like flips, and they land on their head behind him.
A Frankensteiner?
Is that what it is? Is it just like a glorified Frankenstein?
It's just a reverse Frankensteiner, I think.
The first time I ever saw him do it was with Sami Zayn in NXT.
Like the spike where they who does it?
Kenny Omega?
No, I'm trying
Does
to
the same thing?
no, does he?
what's his name?
Ibushi does it.
Who's the guy who's not Sin Cara?
Kalisto.
Yeah, he does it's like a spike Frankensteiner. Ray does it too now.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know kind of what you're talking. It's like a modified Hurricane Rana Frankensteiner kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. That's all that is.
Yeah.
It's just adultery, baby.
Yeah. So, but anyways, at the end of the day, as a company, I feel like WWE has a title for everyone, and I think that you'll never.
That?
Yep.
Yes, this is a reverse Frankenstein.
You never really get. Nobody gets a chance to shine. It's almost like the participation trophy kind of idea. If everyone's a fucking champion, then no one's a champion.
Right. And
I feel like the titles should move around more often than they do. But at the same time, I think there's just too fucking many of them. They don't feel important. They don't feel special anymore.
I'm okay with with getting rid of some of them and having those people
traveling
show
between
on each
brands,
shows.
Yeah.
I think if you do that, you have to trim the roster down because you're now taking TV time away from other people.
Well, no,
this should trim the roster down.
I agree with you.
The brand split was there because they had absorbed WCW and ECW. They had too many guys, so they split the brands. They created a third brand because they had way too many guys with WWE ECW.
Right.
But then they fired a lot of people in like 2008, 2009, 2010, somewhere around whenever the brand split officially kind of went away again.
Yeah.
And they consolidated the roster, and then they fucking brought everyone up from NXT, and they went, oh, fuck.
Right.
We've got too many guys again. So they brand split again. And guess what's going to happen? They're going to have too many guys again. They're going to fire a bunch of
Right.
people. They're going
Right.
to consolidate the brand. We're going to have the championships all merged again. It's
Do you remember a guy named Ty Dillinger?
I wish I didn't.
I feel like he was like the number 6 or something like that.
Something like that.
6.
No, that was me.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. It was the number 10, and I want to go over something that I just got a notification for that involved the number 10. 10 people took our poll. 90% say Rusev is good. One person said Rusev sucks.
And that one person is here with us today.
Fuck Rusev.
I almost wore my Happy Rusev Day shirt today.
He's not. Whatever.
You got your wish. They broke up.
He does nothing for me. If you were to, like,
rebrand him entirely.
no, whatever. But like, if they were to trim the roster and he wasn't there, I would say, okay.
I want him in Bullet Club so bad.
But if you trim the
Ew.
roster and he would no,
I want a Machka Club shirt. That's all I want.
absolutely not.
You fucking make one.
yeah.
You have Photoshop.
If he was to be there after the Great Purge, I would say, okay.
Who cares?
Like, there's plenty of guys like that. I don't know. Just get rid of Lars Sullivan.
So, real quick, just to wrap it up, because we were talking about titles. So, I personally...
205 trios.
yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. But continue.
Anyways, I have fond memories, I don't know about you guys, about the first ever undisputed WWF champion, Christopher Jericho.
yeah, he's pretty good.
He's pretty good. So, I was making a point yesterday about I think it was actually
That was a cool belt, though.
I love that belt.
the common thread that this conversation started on was that there have only been 50 separate WWE champions in the history of the belt under all names. And that makes sense that there's statistically speaking, your favorite wrestler will never be WWE champion. And we talked, just like you guys just said, that was a great belt. The Undisputed Championship,
Yeah.
the merging of the two titles, it was amazing, blah, blah, blah. The belt was only around for less than a year.
Was it really?
The Undisputed Championship.
It was fucking like long and not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was gray.
So
I loved it.
That was
hold
such
on.
a fucking good looking belt.
I gotta
Big Gold
find
is
the
still my
thing.
favorite, but that was a close second.
Yeah. So the WWF Championship and the became the undisputed WWF Championship in 2001. In 2002, it became the undisputed WWE Championship. In 2002, it became the WWE Undisputed Championship.
You just said that twice.
It was the undisputed WWF Championship, the undisputed WWE Championship, then the WWE Undisputed Championship. They just moved the words around. And in 2002 as well, it became the WWE Championship again.
Tune in next week when they change it to the Champion of the Universe.
That's pretty much what's probably going to happen.
Champion of the
So-
universe.
So the belt was there for such a short time. It just like, but I remember it so clearly. Like
Yeah.
it was
Yeah,
there. For,
I didn't even watch wrestling at that time.
You know what?
and
I
knew
stopped
about
watching
it.
when that was still around, so that's probably why I feel like it was longer. 'Cause
Yeah,
I never saw it
but it was
disappear.
was like
same
less
thing.
than a year. It was
That was when like Lesnar showed up and wrestled consistently.
yeah.
Before the giant chest tattoo.
Dick sword.
So here we go. Undisputed WWF Championship was formed on December 9th, 2001, when Chris Jericho won and
Yes.
combined the titles. On May 6th, 2002, WWF changed the names to WWE, so it became the WWE Undisputed, blah, blah, blah. Then 13 days later, they changed it from the Undisputed WWE Championship to the WWE Undisputed Championship.
Which makes more sense.
And
Sure.
On September 2nd, 2002, it went back to just being the WWE Championship. Less than a year was that belt around.
And then they had the big gold again for a little
WWE
bit.
Championship, then the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE
Fucking
Championship, the
spinner
WWE
one.
World Heavyweight Championship, WWE
Like how
Championship. Yeah.
I don't understand how that spinner belt like lasted. Like that
The
that,
bling belt, yeah.
Yeah, that belt lasted for fucking
That was all of
way
Punk's
longer.
run. wasn't
Until
it?
The Rock showed up.
Yeah.
It was
It was until Punk's at the end of Punk's championship run.
yeah, Cena held it, and you know, when you have a star like that, he gets his own belt. Makes sense. Stone Cold had the smoking skull, The Rock had the bull. Whatever. I don't really think you should do that, but
I get it.
it is what it is. Right. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and John Cena, they're not like most girls. Like they're
I'm not like most girls.
they like I don't know, they're it, like when you look at back at history, say we look back 30 years from now and we say, hey, Dolph Ziggler was WWE champion, there's a chance a lot of people will say, who?
Right.
But
Doesn't
when you
he do
say
stand-up?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, you'll be like,
Who?
bad motherfucker. John Cena, oh,
He's
he was
a
at-
Boy Scout.
He was that boy in jorts. And then The Rock, you're like, well,
That boy in
it's
jorts.
The Rock.
Yeah. You mean the guy that owns Under Armour?
Yeah. Actually, that's who made Draws's sick all-terrain wheelchair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went to the University of Maryland with him. I was like friends with him.
That's cool.
And then they were just like, fuck it. Have this kick-ass like tank wheelchair. But it's like I don't know, I think that belt just fucking lasted way too long. I think John Cena's US championship, the round one,
Yeah.
that was a good looking belt. And I like if they moved back to that, I wouldn't be mad.
I'm a big fan of the modern WWE Championship belt. I think it's really simplistic.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really like how simple it is, and
Yep.
it's just, I
And
think it's
the-
a good looking belt.
And your men's belt is the same as the women's belt. Like
Mm-hmm. Equality.
that's a
And it
big
should be.
thing with
It's not a fucking butterfly.
right. The NXT belt, when, you know, after for whatever reason they decided to change all the belts, it was full of semen.
Come on, Woods.
So they got all new belts once they found out what it was being used for, and the NXT men's and the NXT women's belt is essentially the exact same. I think the women's might be a little smaller, but
Well, so it doesn't look so giant.
the female
on-
performers are also
Smaller.
a little bit smaller. So it makes sense, but it's the same design.
And the initial NXT Women's Championship belt, obviously not nearly as bad, but it still fell victim to the same Divas
was pink.
Championship.
It was-
It was
yeah.
pink and purple and stuff
yeah,
like
it
that.
wasn't a bad belt though.
No, the belt design was fine, and they kind of
I didn't like
that.
the men's belt.
The big X.
It was just a big.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I
care for it.
the new NXT World Championship
Yeah,
is
looks
awesome.
really good.
The tag champs look awesome. Like
Yep.
all their belts look great.
Yeah,
because they're classic designs.
yeah.
And that's why I love the North American Championship. It's this old territory style belt, and I just love
Oh, the
it.
North. I was thinking of the U.S. I was like, no, the U.S. is
The
kinda,
U.S. is just a flag
yeah.
with WWE's logo on it.
On 2K17. I downloaded the WWE Canadian Championship.
Nice.
It's awesome.
I loved that.
Bret Hart versus Kevin Owens.
Anyways, we have rambled on for a long time.
Yes,
we have.
I hope that everyone enjoyed whatever the
Doherty
fuck we
40.
just did.
Episode 40.
Yeah.
40.
40 ounces to freedom.
Ooh, that's not bad.
I like it.
That's not
That's
bad.
the name of the episode.
I like it.
That's not
It's also
bad.
the name of the pretty good Sublime album.
Oh, it's a Sublime album? No, we're not using
You
it.
don't like Sublime?
Fuck Sublime.
Oh man, they are very good, but they're liked by
You ready for this? You ready
Shitty
for this? You ready for this? Good night, everybody.
laters.
Good night.